Tell Judge Caprio that my time is worth $6,000 per hour. He can bill me for this waste of my day. Those words echo through Providence Municipal Court on a cold Tuesday morning. But the woman who said them isn't even here. She sent her lawyer to say it for her. And what Judge Frank Caprio is about to do will change everything. The courtroom is packed. Every seat is filled. People stand along the back wall. Local news cameras are set up in the corner. This is a regular traffic court session, but something feels different today. The air is tense. Reporters whisper to each other. Their notepads are ready. If you believe that no one is above the law, no matter how much money they have, you'll want to see what happens in the next few minutes, because justice is about to be served in a way nobody expects. Judge Frank Caprio sits at the bench. He's 78 years old. His hair is white. His eyes are kind but firm. He's been a judge for over 30 years. He's seen everything. Rich people, poor people, honest people, liars. But today is different. Even he doesn't know how different yet. The bailiff stands up. His uniform is crisp and clean. He holds a file in his hand. Case number 2025 TR 94762, he announces. His voice carries through the room. The state of Rhode Island versus Vivienne Ashford Kane. People lean forward. They know that name. Vivienne Ashford Kane, wife of tech billionaire Marcus Kane. Her face has been in magazines, on social media, at charity galas, always smiling, always perfect, always surrounded by luxury. But she's not here today. Instead, a man in a $3,000 suit stands up. His shoes are Italian leather. They shine under the courtroom lights. His briefcase is Louis Vuitton. He adjusts his Hermes tie and walks to the front. His walk is confident, too confident. "Your Honor," he says. His voice is smooth like butter. "I'm Richard Pemberton. I represent Mrs. Ashford Kane. She couldn't be here today due to prior commitments." Judge Caprio looks at him. His face doesn't change. "Prior commitments?" he asks. His voice is calm, quiet, but there's steel underneath. "Yes, Your Honor. Mrs. Ashford Kane is currently in Milan for Fashion Week. It's an important business obligation. She sends her sincerest apologies." In the gallery, a woman shifts in her seat. Her name is Rosa Martinez. She's 43 years old. She's wearing a Target sweater and jeans from Walmart. Her shoes are scuffed. Her hands are rough from work. She cleans houses for a living, 6 days a week, sometimes 7. She has 3 kids at home, a teenager, a middle schooler, and a little one in first grade. Their father died 4 years ago. Cancer. No life insurance. Rosa works from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. most days. She makes about $32,000 a year. Every penny counts. Rosa is here because of what Vivienne Ashford Kane did to her 3 months ago. Judge Caprio picks up a file. He reads it slowly. The courtroom is silent. You can hear the clock on the wall. Tick, tick, tick. "Mr. Pemberton," the judge says, "this is the 3rd time Mrs. Ashford Kane has failed to appear for this hearing. The first time, she was in the Maldives. The second time, she was at her estate in the Hamptons. Now Milan." "Your Honor, I assure you." "I've not finished." Judge Caprio's voice cuts through the air like a knife. Clean, sharp. This case involves serious charges. Reckless driving, leaving the scene of an accident, destruction of property. And there's a victim present who has taken time off work to be here. Work she cannot afford to miss. Rosa feels tears building in her eyes. She blinks them back. She can't afford to break down. Not here, not now. The lawyer smiles. It's not a real smile. It's the kind of smile that says he thinks he's already won. "Your Honor, Mrs. Ashford Kane is prepared to settle any financial damages. We have a check ready for $10,000. That should more than cover the victim's vehicle repairs and inconvenience." He says inconvenience like it's nothing. Like Rosa's life being turned upside down is just a minor annoyance. Judge Caprio sets down the file. He takes off his glasses. He cleans them slowly with a cloth from his pocket. This is a habit he has when he's thinking, when he's choosing his words carefully. "Let me tell you about inconvenience, Mr. Pemberton. Mrs. Martinez here works 6 days a week cleaning houses. She makes about $15 an hour. The day your client hit her car and drove away, Mrs. Martinez was on her way to her second job. She lost that job because she couldn't get there. She lost a week of work dealing with the aftermath. Her car sat in a shop for 3 weeks because your client's insurance company wouldn't respond to calls. During that time, Mrs. Martinez had to take buses. 3 different buses. Each way. 2 hours each direction. To get to work. To get her kids to school. In the rain. In the cold. While your client was posting pictures from Bora Bora on Instagram. The courtroom is dead silent now. Even the reporters have stopped writing. They're just listening. The lawyer's smile falters. Just a little. Your Honor, we're prepared to increase the settlement offer to $15,000. This isn't about money, Mr. Pemberton. With respect, Your Honor, everything is about money. My client is willing to pay generously to resolve this matter. Isn't that what courts are for? To reach settlements? A man in the gallery actually gasped out loud. Did this lawyer just say that to a judge? Judge Caprio puts his glasses back on. He looks at the lawyer for a long moment. When he speaks, his voice is very quiet. So quiet that everyone has to strain to hear. No, Mr. Pemberton, courts are not for sale. They are for justice, and justice requires accountability, not a checkbook. Your Honor, I meant no disrespect. Where is Mrs. Ashford Kane staying in Milan? The lawyer blinks. I'm sorry? In Milan. What hotel? The Four Seasons. And how did she get there? I don't see how. How did she get there, Mr. Pemberton? The lawyer shifts his weight. For the first time, he looks uncomfortable. Private jet. Her jet or a chartered one? Theirs. The Kane family owns a Gulfstream G650. Judge Caprio nods slowly. A Gulfstream G650. That's a nice plane. Costs about $70 million. Seats up to 19 people. Can fly 8,000 miles without stopping. Is that right? Your Honor, I don't know the exact specifications. I do. I looked it up because I wanted to understand exactly how someone could be too busy to appear in court when they own a plane that can fly them anywhere in the world in a matter of hours. The lawyer opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. Let me ask you something else, Mr. Pemberton. How much does it cost to fly that plane from Providence to Milan? I wouldn't know. About $40,000, give or take. For fuel, crew, landing fees. That's for a one-way trip. So your client spent $40,000 to avoid coming to court. But she's willing to pay $15,000 to make this go away. Does that math make sense to you? A woman in the back row starts clapping, just for a second. The bailiff looks at her. She stops, but she's smiling. The lawyer tries again. His voice is a little less smooth now. Your Honor, Mrs. Ashford Kane has a very busy schedule. She sits on several charity boards. She runs a lifestyle brand. She has obligations. Mrs. Martinez has obligations too. She has 3 children who depend on her. She has bills that don't stop coming. She has a life that was disrupted because your client was driving a $100,000 Mercedes SUV recklessly through a residential neighborhood at 47 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. Then your client hit Mrs. Martinez's 2009 Honda Civic. Then your client drove away. She didn't stop. She didn't check if anyone was hurt. She didn't call the police. She just left. Rosa's hands are shaking now. She remembers that day so clearly. The sound of the impact. Metal crunching. Glass shattering. The Mercedes just kept going. The license plate disappearing around a corner. Rosa sat there in shock for a full minute before she even thought to call 911. Judge Caprio isn't done. He pulls out another document. And then something interesting happened. According to police reports, officers went to the Kane residence that evening. They had the license plate. They had witnesses. They knew who the car belonged to. But when they arrived, they were turned away at the gate. The security guard said the family was not available for comment. The next morning, a lawyer, perhaps you, Mr. Pemberton, called the police station. According to this report, that lawyer suggested that perhaps the police had made a mistake, that perhaps they should reconsider their investigation. The lawyer mentioned that the Kane family had donated $500,000 to the Police Benevolent Fund last year. People in the courtroom are whispering now. The judge doesn't stop them. Is that true, Mr. Pemberton? Did someone from your firm attempt to influence a police investigation? The lawyer's face goes red. Your Honor, I cannot confirm or deny privileged communications. Then let me tell you what else happened. The police sergeant who took that call filed a formal complaint. He said he felt intimidated. He felt like his job was being threatened. That sergeant is here today. Sergeant Michael Torres, please stand. A man in uniform stands up. He's in the third row. His jaw is tight. His eyes are hard. Judge Caprio continues. Sergeant Torres has been with the Providence Police Department for 18 years. He has commendations for bravery. He once saved a child from a burning building. He's never been accused of any wrongdoing, until your firm called his superiors and suggested he might be pursuing this case for personal reasons. Isn't that right, Mr. Pemberton? The lawyer doesn't answer. He's looking at his shoes now. Those expensive Italian shoes. I'll take your silence as confirmation. Now let's talk about what happened next. Mrs. Martinez's car was taken to a repair shop. The estimate came back at $4,800. That's more than her car is worth. But she needs a car to work. She can't afford a new one. So she borrowed money from her sister to pay for the repairs. Her sister, who is also struggling, who also works 2 jobs, who also has kids to feed. Mrs. Martinez is paying her back $25 a week. It will take her almost 4 years to repay that debt. 4 years because your client couldn't be bothered to stop, couldn't be bothered to take responsibility, couldn't be bothered to show up today. Rosa wipes her eyes. The tears are falling now. She can't stop them. Judge Caprio looks directly at the lawyer. So no, Mr. Pemberton, we will not accept a settlement check. We will not make this go away. Your client will appear in this court. In person, not via lawyer, not via Zoom. In person, or there will be consequences. The lawyer straightens up. His confidence is coming back. This is what he's paid for. Your Honor, with all due respect, you cannot compel my client to appear for a traffic violation. This is a minor civil matter. It was a minor civil matter, until your client failed to appear 3 times, until your firm attempted to interfere with a police investigation, until your client showed complete disregard for this court and for Mrs. Martinez. Now it's something else. What are you saying, Your Honor? Judge Caprio opens another file. I'm saying that I'm escalating these charges. Reckless driving is now reckless endangerment. Leaving the scene is now hit and run with property damage. And I'm adding a charge of criminal contempt of court for willful failure to appear. These are criminal charges, Mr. Pemberton, not civil ones, and they require your client to appear immediately. The courtroom explodes. People are talking. Reporters are typing frantically. Cameras are flashing. The lawyer's face goes white. Your Honor, you cannot. I can, and I am. Mrs. Ashford Kane has 72 hours to appear before this court. If she does not, I will issue a warrant for her arrest. A warrant? For traffic violations? For criminal contempt. For hit and run. For reckless endangerment. Yes, Mr. Pemberton, a warrant. And I will personally ensure that it is executed, no matter where in the world your client is hiding. The lawyer is stuttering now. Your Honor, my client is not hiding. She's simply what? Too important? Too busy? Too rich? Let me tell you something about justice, Mr. Pemberton. It doesn't care how much money you have. It doesn't care what kind of plane you own. It doesn't care if you're at Fashion Week or on a yacht or sitting in a mansion. Justice is blind. That's not just a saying. It's a principle. And in my courtroom, everyone is equal. The lawyer tries one more time. His voice is desperate now. Your Honor, please. Let me call my client. Let me explain the situation. I'm sure she'll be willing to. Call her now. I'm sorry. Call her now. Right now. In front of this court. Put it on speakerphone. I want to hear what she has to say. The lawyer looks like he might pass out. Your Honor, I don't think. Do it, or I'd issue the warrant right now. The lawyer's hands shake as he pulls out his phone. It's an iPhone 15 Pro Max, the newest one. He scrolls through his contacts. He finds her name. He hesitates for just a moment. Then he presses call. He turns on the speaker. The phone rings. Once, twice, 3 times. The entire courtroom holds its breath. 4 rings. 5 rings. Then a click. A woman's voice comes through the speaker. It's smooth, polished, bored. Richard, this better be important. I'm at a show. The lawyer clears his throat. Mrs. Ashford Kane, I'm in court right now. Judge Caprio is here. You're on speakerphone. There's a pause, then a sigh, and an annoyed sigh, like this is the biggest inconvenience in the world. For God's sake, Richard, I told you to handle this. That's why I pay you $1,200 an hour. $1,200 an hour. Rosa makes that in 5 days of work, before taxes. Judge Caprio speaks up. Mrs. Ashford Kane, this is Judge Frank Caprio. You were ordered to appear in court today. You didn't come. I need you to explain why. Another pause. Longer this time. When she speaks again, her voice is different. Harder. Judge, I don't mean any disrespect, but I have a business to run. I can't drop everything for a fender bender. I've already offered to pay for the damages. Generously, I might add. I don't understand why this is even still an issue. It's an issue because you broke the law. Multiple laws, actually. And you left a woman stranded. I offered to pay her. What more does she want? Judge Caprio's voice gets very quiet again. That dangerous quiet. She wants what everyone deserves. Acknowledgement. Apology. Accountability. Vivienne Ashford Kane laughs. Actually laughs. It comes through the speakerphone like nails on a chalkboard. Judge, I live in the real world. Accidents happen. I'm willing to pay for mine. But I'm not going to put my life on hold to grovel in some courtroom. Time is money, and my time is very expensive. How expensive? Excuse me? Your time. You mentioned it's expensive. How expensive? There's another pause. You can hear noise in the background. Music. People talking. The fashion show is still going on. My lawyer already told you. $6,000 per hour. That's what I calculate my time to be worth. Based on my annual income divided by working hours. $6,000 per hour. The courtroom is silent except for that number hanging in the air like smoke. Judge Caprio lets it sit there for a moment. Mrs. Ashford Kane, you know what Mrs. Martinez makes per hour? I don't see how that's relevant. $15. She makes $15 per hour. It would take her 400 hours to make what you claim to make in 1 hour. That's 10 weeks of full-time work. 10 weeks of waking up at 5 in the morning, of scrubbing toilets and floors, of missing her children's school events because she's working. 10 weeks of her life to equal 1 hour of yours. Again, Judge, I don't see. You don't see. That's exactly the problem. You don't see Mrs. Martinez. You don't see the damage you caused. You don't see anyone but yourself. Vivienne's voice gets sharp now, angry. How dare you? I donate millions to charity every year. I employ dozens of people. I contribute more to society in a month than most people do in a lifetime. You contribute money, but money isn't everything. Character matters, responsibility matters, and right now you're showing neither. Listen, Judge, I've been patient, but this is ridiculous. I'm offering to settle this for $25,000. Final offer. Take it or leave it. But I am not flying back from Milan for a traffic ticket. This is it. This is the moment. The nuclear quote. The thing that will seal Vivienne Ashford Kane's fate. Judge Caprio asks one more question. His voice is steady. So you're refusing to appear? Yes, I'm refusing, sue me. Oh wait, you can't, because I'll just pay whatever fine you impose. That's how the system works, Judge. The wealthy pay. The poor comply. Everyone knows it. I'm just honest enough to say it out loud. 10 seconds of silence. Complete, total silence. You could hear a pin drop in that courtroom. Nobody moves. Nobody breathes. Rosa's face is wet with tears, but she's not looking down anymore. She's looking straight ahead, at the judge, waiting. The reporters are frozen. Pens hovering over paper. This is the story of the year, maybe the decade. Sergeant Torres' hands are clenched into fists. His knuckles are white. The lawyer looks like he wants to disappear into the floor. And Judge Frank Caprio's face changes. Something shifts in his expression. His jaw tightens. His eyes narrow. When he speaks, his voice could cut glass. Mrs. Ashford Kane, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. I doubt that. You just admitted on a recorded court line that you believe the wealthy are above the law. You just stated that you can buy your way out of responsibility. You just insulted every person in this courtroom and every principle this court stands for. So let me tell you what's going to happen now. I am issuing a warrant for your arrest, effective immediately. You have 48 hours to return to Providence and surrender yourself to authorities. If you do not, you will be considered a fugitive. Interpol will be notified. Your passport will be flagged. And when you are found, and you will be found, you will be extradited and held without bail until your trial. The courtroom erupts. People are standing, shouting. The bailiff is banging his gavel. Order! Order in the court! Vivienne's voice comes through the speaker. For the first time, it shakes. You can't do this. This is insane. Richard, tell him he can't do this. The lawyer doesn't say anything. He's staring at the phone like it's a bomb. Richard, say something. Mrs. Ashford Kane, the lawyer finally says. His voice is hollow. I think you should hang up now and get on a plane. I'm not. Judge Caprio cuts her off. Mrs. Ashford Kane, let me be crystal clear. This is not a negotiation. This is not a game. This is a lawful order from a sitting judge. You will appear in this court in person within 48 hours or you will be arrested. Your money cannot help you. Your connections cannot help you. Your lawyer cannot help you. Only you can help you. By doing the right thing, finally. There's noise on the other end. People talking. Someone is telling Vivienne something. You can hear her voice, but the words aren't clear. She's angry. Scared. Both. Then the line goes dead. She hung up. The courtroom is chaos. The bailiff is still trying to restore order. Reporters are running out to file their stories. This is going viral. Right now. In real time. Judge Caprio picks up his gavel. He bangs it 3 times. Hard. Order. I will have order. Slowly, people sit down. But the energy in the room is electric. Crackling. Alive. The judge looks at the lawyer. Mr. Pemberton, I suggest you contact your client immediately and impress upon her the gravity of this situation. This is not a publicity stunt. This is not a power play. This is the law, and she will answer to it. The lawyer nods. He can't speak. He just nods. You're dismissed. For now. The next hearing is scheduled for Friday at 9 a.m. Your client will be here, in person, or she will be in custody. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. Good. Get out of my courtroom. The lawyer practically runs out, his expensive shoes clicking on the floor, his briefcase swinging. He's already got his phone to his ear. Calling someone. Probably his senior partners. Probably Vivienne's husband. Probably anyone who can fix this. But this can't be fixed. Not with money. Not with influence. Not with anything except accountability. Judge Caprio looks at Rosa. His face softens. Mrs. Martinez, I know this has been difficult. I know you've taken time off work to be here. Multiple times. I apologize that this court has put you through this ordeal. But I promise that justice will be served. Rosa nods. She wipes her eyes. Thank you, Your Honor. Her voice is barely a whisper. You can go now. But please be here Friday morning. I want you present when Mrs. Ashford Kane answers for what she did to you. I'll be here. Rosa stands up. Her legs are shaky. A woman next to her helps steady her. They walk out together. The judge watches them go. Then he looks at Sergeant Torres. Sergeant, please coordinate with the court clerk to execute this warrant. I want everything done by the book. No mistakes. No loopholes. Yes, Your Honor. It will be done correctly. Thank you for your service and for your integrity. Sergeant Torres nods. He sits down. His face shows satisfaction, not revenge. Just satisfaction. Justice is coming. Judge Caprio looks out at the courtroom, at the remaining people, at the cameras. He knows this is being recorded. He knows it's going to be everywhere. He doesn't care. Let me say something to everyone here, and to anyone who watches this later. The law is not a suggestion. It's not optional. It doesn't bend for wealth or status or connections. Justice is supposed to be blind. Blind to your bank account. Blind to your last name. Blind to everything except the facts and the truth. Today, someone tried to buy their way out of justice. They failed. They will always fail in my courtroom, because some things cannot be purchased. Dignity, respect, accountability. Those are earned. And if you don't earn them, then you don't deserve them. Court is adjourned. He bangs his gavel one final time. The courtroom slowly empties. People are talking excited, energized. They just witnessed something rare, something real. The little guy winning, or at least getting a chance to win. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm. Camera crews set up. Within an hour, the story is everywhere. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, local stations, national stations, international stations. Breaking news. Billionaire's wife faces arrest warrant after refusing court appearance. The headlines write themselves. On social media, it explodes. Twitter is on fire. TikTok videos go viral within minutes. Someone recorded the court session on their phone. It's grainy. The audio isn't perfect, but you can hear everything, especially that laugh. That cruel laugh when Vivienne said time is money. People are furious. Comments pour in by the thousands. This is what privilege looks like. Finally, a judge with a backbone. She thought she could buy her way out. Wrong. Judge Kate Rio is a lady and. But there are defenders too. Some people say the judge is overreaching, that he's grandstanding, that this is an abuse of power. Since when do we arrest people for missing traffic court? This is just going to cost taxpayers money. The judge is making this personal. The debate rages on TV, online, at dinner tables across the country. Everyone has an opinion. But back in Providence, things are moving. The warrant is official. It's in the system. Police are notified. Airports are alerted. The U.S. Marshal Service is contacted. This is real. In Milan, Vivienne Ashford Kane is pacing in her hotel suite, the Four Seasons Presidential Suite. It costs $15,000 per night. The view is incredible. The furniture is imported. The champagne is vintage. None of it matters right now. Her phone won't stop ringing. Her husband, her lawyer, her publicist, her friends. Everyone wants to know what's happening. Everyone has advice. Just fly back and apologize. Her husband says he's calm. He's always calm. That's how he made his billions. By staying calm. Go to court. Apologize. Pay whatever fine. Move on. I'm not apologizing to some traffic court judge, Vivienne says. She's still angry. Still defiant. This is ridiculous. He can't arrest me for this. He already did. The warrant is issued. If you don't go back, it gets worse. How can it get worse? Interpol Viv. He wasn't bluffing. If you're flagged as a fugitive, you can't travel. You can't leave Italy. And eventually, they'll extradite you. In handcuffs, on a commercial flight, with cameras everywhere. Is that how you want this to end? Vivienne stops pacing. She looks out the window. Milan is beautiful at night. The lights, the architecture, the style. This is her world. Not some dingy courtroom in Rhode Island. But her husband is right. She knows he's right. Fine, she says. I'll go back. But I'm fighting this. I'm not pleading guilty to anything. That's your choice. But you need to be there Friday morning. No excuses. She hangs up. She calls her pilot. Get the plane ready. We're leaving tonight. The pilot hesitates. Ma'am, there's a problem. What problem? Your passport has been flagged. Italian authorities were just notified. They're saying you can't leave the country until this is resolved. Vivienne's blood runs cold. What? How is that even possible? I wasn't even formally arrested. I don't know, ma'am, but that's what they're telling me. You need to contact the U.S. Embassy, and you need to do it now. For the first time in her life, Vivienne Ashford Kane realizes that money might not be enough. That influence might not be enough. That she might actually be trapped. She calls her lawyer. Richard, they won't let me leave Italy. What do I do? Richard Pemberton has been a lawyer for 23 years. He's handled divorces for billionaires, tax evasion cases, corporate fraud. He's never felt this helpless. You need to contact the embassy. Explain the situation. They might be able to expedite your return. But Viv, you need to understand something. This judge isn't playing games. He's serious. Deadly serious. I can see that. Her voice is smaller now, less confident. When you get back, you need to be humble. Genuinely humble. Apologize. Accept responsibility. Show remorse. Real remorse. Not the fake PR kind. I don't know if I can do that. Then you're going to jail. It's that simple. The call ends. Vivienne sits on the bed. It's the most comfortable bed in Milan. Maybe in all of Italy. She doesn't notice. She's thinking about jail, about handcuffs, about being treated like a common criminal. Is this really happening? Yes, it really is. 40 hours later, Vivienne Ashford Kane walks through customs at Logan Airport in Boston. She took a commercial flight. First class, but still. People recognized her, took pictures, posted them online. Fugitive Harris returns, the caption said. She wanted to scream at them, sue them, but her lawyer told her to stay quiet. Don't engage. Just get to Providence. A driver picks her up. Not her usual driver. A court-appointed transport. They wouldn't let her come on her own. Too much risk she'd run. So she has an escort, a U.S. Marshal. He's polite but firm. This is his job. She's his responsibility until she appears in court. The drive to Providence takes an hour. She spends it staring out the window, at the trees, the houses, the normal people doing normal things. She's never felt so separated from everyone else, so alone. They arrive at the courthouse at 8:30 a.m. Friday morning. There are news trucks everywhere, dozens of them, satellite dishes reaching toward the sky. Reporters crowd the entrance. Cameras flash as her car pulls up. The marshal helps her out. Keep your head down. Don't say anything. Just walk straight in. She does, but she can hear the questions being shouted at her. Mrs. Ashford Kane, do you regret running? Are you going to apologize? What do you say to people who think you're above the law? She doesn't answer. She can't. Her throat is tight. Her heart is pounding. She's wearing a simple black dress. Modest. Her lawyer chose it. No jewelry except her wedding ring. No designer bags. No sunglasses. She needs to look humble. Contrite. Sorry. She doesn't feel sorry yet, but she's getting there. Inside, the courthouse is packed. Even more than Tuesday. Word spread. People want to see this. The reckoning. The fall. The moment when someone rich and powerful has to face consequences. Rosa Martinez is already there, front row. She took the day off work. She can't afford it, but she needs to be here. Needs to see this through. Sergeant Torres is there too, in full uniform, watching. The gallery is full of regular people, working people. People who've been screwed over by someone with money and power. They're here to witness justice, to believe in it again. If only for one day. At 9:00 a.m. exactly, the bailiff stands. All rise, the Honorable Judge Frank Caprio presiding. Everyone stands. Judge Caprio enters. He looks the same as Tuesday. Calm, steady, ready. He sits. You may be seated. Everyone sits except Vivienne. Her lawyer told her to stay standing, show respect. Case number 2025 tier 94,762. The State of Rhode Island versus Vivienne Ashford Kane. Mrs. Ashford Kane, you're present? Yes, Your Honor. Her voice shakes, just a little. Good, please approach. She walks forward. Her legs feel like water. She's terrified. Actually terrified. She hasn't felt like this since she was a child. Since before the money, before the power, before she learned that rules didn't apply to her. Judge Caprio looks at her. Really looks at her. Not at her clothes or her hair or her expensive watch. At her face, her eyes, trying to see who she really is underneath all the armor. Mrs. Ashford Kane, thank you for appearing today. I know the journey back wasn't pleasant, but it was necessary. Do you understand why you're here? Yes, Your Honor. Tell me, in your own words. She swallows. I'm here because I was involved in an accident, and I didn't stop, and I didn't appear in court when I was supposed to. Why didn't you stop? I don't know. Yes, you do. Think about it. Why didn't you stop? She's quiet for a long moment. The courtroom waits, because I was scared. Scared of what? Scared of getting in trouble. Scared of consequences. Scared of looking bad. Judge Caprio nods. And why didn't you appear in court? Because I thought I could make it go away, with money, with my lawyers. I thought I didn't have to, because you believed you were above the law. It's not a question. It's a statement. She could deny it. But what's the point? He already knows. Everyone knows. Yes, she whispers. I believed I was above the law. There it is, the admission, the truth. It hangs in the air like a confession in church. Judge Caprio picks up a file. Mrs. Ashford Kane, let me tell you what's in this file. Police reports, witness statements, security camera footage, cell phone records, financial disclosures. Do you know what all this evidence shows? No, Your Honor. It shows a pattern, not just one accident, not just one failure to appear, a pattern of believing that rules don't apply to you, speeding tickets paid without ever showing up, parking violations dismissed after phone calls from influential people, property disputes settled quietly with non-disclosure agreements, a history of consequences being erased, by money, by power, by privilege. Her face is red now, shame and anger mixed together. And then we have the phone call from Tuesday, where you laughed, where you said the wealthy pay and the poor comply, where you reduced the entire justice system to a transaction. Do you stand by those words? No, Your Honor. I was angry. I wasn't thinking. No, Mrs. Ashford Kane. You were thinking. That's exactly the problem. That's what you actually believe. Deep down, where it counts, you believe you're special, different, better, don't you? She wants to deny it, but she can't, because it's true. She's believed it for so long that she doesn't know how to believe anything else. I did believe that, she finally says. I'm not sure what I believe anymore. Judge Caprio puts down the file. Let me tell you what I believe. I believe that every person has value. Equal value. The woman who cleans your house has the same worth as you. The police officer who investigates your crash has the same dignity as you. The judge who calls you to account has the same authority over you as over anyone else. That's what equality means. Not that everyone has the same money, but that everyone has the same rights, the same protections, the same responsibilities. And when you violated Mrs. Martinez's rights by hitting her car and driving away, you violated something sacred. You violated the compact we all make to live together in society, to respect each other, to take care of each other. You broke that compact, and now you have to repair it. Vivienne is crying now. Real tears, not the pretty kind you cry at weddings, the ugly kind, the kind that come from somewhere deep and real. Mrs. Ashford Kane, do you know what Mrs. Martinez does for work? She cleans houses. That's right, she cleans houses, including houses like yours. She gets on her hands and knees and scrubs toilets so that people like you can live in comfort. She does this for $15 an hour. How much do you think your house is worth? I don't know. 30 million? Maybe more. And how much do you pay Mrs. Martinez? Not her specifically, but people like her, the people who clean your house, maintain your property, make your life possible. I don't handle that. My estate manager does. Find out, because I want you to think about this. Someone making $15 an hour enables your $30 million lifestyle, and you hit her car and drove away like she was nothing, like she didn't matter, but she matters, Mrs. Ashford Kane. She matters just as much as you, more maybe, because she works for what she has. She earns it, every single penny. Can you say the same? Vivienne doesn't answer. She can't. Judge Caprio lets the silence stretch. Let it sink in. Then he continues. I'm going to ask you some questions now, and I want honest answers, not lawyer answers, not PR answers. Real, honest answers from you. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. When was the last time you took public transportation? She blinks. I don't remember, Lady College. That was probably 25 years ago, based on your age. When was the last time you grocery shopped? I don't grocery shop. My chef does that. When was the last time you did your own laundry? I don't. When was the last time you worried about money? About whether you could afford something? Never. I've never worried about money. Never? My family has always been wealthy. My husband is wealthier. I've never had to worry. Judge Caprio nods slowly. Thank you for being honest. Now let me tell you about Mrs. Martinez's life. She wakes up at 5:00 a.m. every day. She makes breakfast for her 3 children. She packs their lunches. She takes 2 buses to her first job. She cleans houses for 8 hours. She takes 2 more buses to her evening job. She comes home at 8:30 p.m. She makes dinner. She helps with homework. She does laundry. She pays bills. She goes to bed at 11 o'clock p.m. She does this 6 days a week, sometimes 7. She makes about $2,000 a month after taxes. Her rent is $1,200. Utilities are $200. Food is $300. That leaves about $400 for everything else. Clothes, medicine, school supplies, emergencies, everything. Do you know what it's like to live on $400 a month for everything? No. No, of course not. Your shoes probably cost more than $400. Vivienne looks down at her shoes. $900. From Italy. Before this week, before this nightmare, she wouldn't have thought twice about them. Mrs. Ashford Kane, I'm not trying to make you feel guilty for having money. Money isn't evil, but what you do with it matters. How you treat people matters. And you treated Mrs. Martinez like she was invisible. Like she didn't exist. That's why I can't forgive. That's what this court can't forgive. He opens another file. Now let's talk about your punishment. You've been charged with multiple offenses. Hit and run. Reckless endangerment. Criminal contempt. Obstruction of justice for your lawyer's phone calls to the police. These are serious charges. Each one carries potential jail time. If I sentence you to the maximum, you'd be looking at 3 to 5 years. The courtroom gasps. Vivienne goes pale. Her lawyer grabs her arm to steady her. However, Judge Caprio continues, I don't believe in vengeance. I believe in justice, and justice sometimes means teaching rather than destroying. So here's what's going to happen. He takes out a sentencing document. First, financial penalties. You are fined $50,000. $25,000 goes to Mrs. Martinez as restitution. Not a gift, not charity. Payment for what you took from her. Her time, her peace of mind, her sense of safety. The other $25,000 goes to the Providence Public Schools to fund crossing guard positions, so other people don't have to suffer what Mrs. Martinez suffered. Vivienne nods. She can handle money. Second, your license is suspended for 1 year. No driving. None. Not in Rhode Island. Not anywhere in the United States. Your international license is also suspended. You'll need to reapply after the year is up. And you'll need to take a driver's education course. The full course. With teenagers, you'll sit in a classroom and learn the rules of the road all over again. Her lawyer winces, but doesn't object. This is fair. Embarrassing, but fair. Third, and this is the important one, community service. You will complete 500 hours of community service. Those hours will be served at 3 locations. First, you will work at a homeless shelter. Not donate to it. Not put your name on a building. Work there. Serve meals. Clean. Help. For 100 hours. Second, you will work at public school as a crossing guard. You will stand at the corner of Elmwood Avenue and Washington Street, the exact location where you hit Mrs. Martinez. You will wear a safety vest. You will hold a stop sign. You will help children cross the street safely. For 200 hours, rain or shine, summer or winter. Third, you will work directly for Mrs. Martinez. You will clean her house, do her laundry, run her errands, whatever she needs, for 200 hours, and you will do it for free. Not 1 penny in payment. The courtroom explodes again. People are cheering, actually cheering. The bailiff doesn't stop them this time. Even he's smiling. Vivienne looks like she might faint. Your Honor, I don't know how to clean. I don't know how to do laundry. I don't? Then you'll learn. Mrs. Martinez will teach you, just like she teaches her children, just like she's had to learn everything in her life. Through hard work and determination, you'll learn too. Her lawyer stands up. Your Honor, with respect, this seems excessive. My client is willing to pay. Sit down, Mr. Pemberton. Money is easy. Anyone can write a check. I want effort. I want humility. I want Mrs. Ashford Kane to understand what real work feels like, what serving others feels like, what being powerless feels like. That's the only way she'll learn. That's the only way this means anything. The lawyer sits down. Judge Caprio isn't finished. Fourth, you will write a public apology. 5,000 words minimum. Handwritten. You will explain what you did, why it was wrong, what you learned. It will be published in the Providence Journal. on your social media accounts, everywhere. No ghostwriters, no editors making you sound better than you are. Your words, your responsibility. Fifth, you will attend victim impact panels once a month for a year. You'll listen to stories from people hurt by reckless drivers, people who lost loved ones, people whose lives were destroyed, and you'll sit there and listen, and maybe eventually you'll understand. He looks at her directly. Do you understand these terms? She can barely speak. Yes, Your Honor. And do you accept them? Her lawyer leans over, whispers something. She nods. Yes, Your Honor, I accept them. Good, because if you violate any of these terms, if you miss even 1 hour of community service, if you drive even once during this year, if you fail to complete any of these requirements, the criminal charges will be filed in full, and you will go to jail. Not some minimum security country club prison. Real jail. With real criminals. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. Say it. I want to hear you say you understand. I understand, Your Honor. If I violate these terms, I will go to jail. Judge Caprio nods. Mrs. Martinez, please stand. Rosa stands. Her hands are shaking. She can't believe this is happening. Mrs. Martinez, I want to apologize to you for the system that allowed Mrs. Ashford Kane to think she could buy her way out of this. For the delays. For the disrespect. You deserve better. You deserve better. And I hope that what happens here today gives you some measure of justice. Not just money. Real justice. Accountability. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Rosa looks at Vivienne. For the first time, they make real eye contact. Two women. So different. So similar. Both human. Both flawed. Both trying to survive in their own ways. I forgive you, Rosa says quietly. Not because you deserve it yet, but because I deserve to let go of the anger. But I won't forget. And I hope you don't either. I hope you remember this feeling every time you see someone like me. Someone struggling. Someone working. Someone trying. I hope you see us as people. Not as servants. Not as invisible. As people. Vivienne is sobbing now. Full, heaving sobs. I'm sorry, she manages to say. I'm so sorry. I know, Rosa says. I'll see you next week. At my house. We start then. She sits down. Judge Caprio looks out at the courtroom. At the cameras. At the people. Let this be a lesson to anyone watching. Justice is not for sale. Privilege is not a shield. And no one is above the law. If you drive recklessly, you will answer for it. If you hurt someone and run away, you will answer for it. If you try to use money or power to escape consequences, you will answer for it. Here, in my courtroom, every time, without exception, court is adjourned. He bangs his gavel. The courtroom erupts in applause. People are standing, clapping. Some are crying. Sergeant Torres shakes his head in satisfaction. Justice, finally. Vivienne is escorted out by her lawyer and the marshal. She has to schedule her community service. Sign documents. Submit to monitoring. Her year of humility is beginning, right now. Outside, reporters swarm again. But this time, Vivienne doesn't hide. She stops, looks at the cameras. I'm sorry, she says. I was wrong. I acted like I was better than everyone else. I'm not. I'm going to do everything the judge ordered. And I'm going to try to be better. That's all I can say right now. She gets in the car and drives away. Well, she doesn't drive. She rides. She won't be driving for a year. The story explodes even bigger now. The sentencing. The apology. The punishment. Social media goes absolutely insane. This is justice. She's going to be a crossing guard. I'm crying. Judge Caprio is literally the best human on earth. She has to clean the victim's house. Poetic. But again, there are critics. This is humiliating, cruel, and unusual punishment. The judge went too far. She's being made an example of unfairly. The debate continues, but most people agree. This is what accountability looks like. Real, meaningful accountability. 12 weeks later, things are different. Vivienne Ashford Kane stands at the corner of Elmwood Avenue and Washington Street. It's 7:15 a.m. on a Tuesday. It's raining. Cold rain. October rain. The kind that soaks through your clothes. She's wearing an orange safety vest. It has crossing guard printed on the back in big letters. She holds a stop sign. Her hair is in a simple ponytail. No makeup. No jewelry. She looks ordinary, like anyone else. Cars pass by. Some people recognize her, do a double take, pull out their phones, take pictures, post them online. Billionaire wife working as crossing guard, justice served. But most people don't know who she is. To them, she's just a crossing guard, the person keeping their kids safe. A group of children approach. Elementary school age. Backpacks bouncing, laughing. One of them, a little girl, looks up at her. "Good morning, Miss Crossing Guard." Vivienne smiles, a real smile. "Good morning. Ready to cross?" "Yes, please." Vivienne steps into the street, raises her sign. Cars stop. She walks the children across, watches them reach the other side safely, waves. The little girl waves back. It's such a small thing, such a simple moment, but Vivienne feels something. Pride? Satisfaction? Purpose. She's not sure, but it's something she hasn't felt in years. Something money never bought her. She looks down the street. This is where it happened, where she hit Rosa's car and kept driving. She can still see it if she closes her eyes. The impact, the fear, the choice to run. The worst decision of her life. But she's here now, making it right. One child at a time. 1 hour at a time. Later that day, she goes to Rosa's house. It's small. A 2-bedroom apartment in a working-class neighborhood. The kind of place Vivienne has never been to except to drop off donations around Christmas. Rosa answers the door. "You're on time." "Good." "I'm trying." "Come in. The vacuum is in the closet. Start with the living room. Then the bedrooms. Bathrooms are last. Cleaning supplies are under the sink." "And Vivienne?" "Yes." "Use the good scrubbing. Get on your knees. Really clean. Not surface level. Deep clean. Like your life depends on it." Vivienne nods. She gets the vacuum. She starts working. Her hands hurt. Her knees hurt. Her back hurts. She's sweating. This is harder than any workout she's ever done. Any yoga class. Any Pilates session. This is real work. Rosa watches for a while. Then she goes to the kitchen. Starts making lunch. For her kids. They'll be home from school soon. After 3 hours, Vivienne finishes. The apartment is spotless. She's exhausted. Every muscle aches. Rosa inspects. Nods. "Good. You missed a spot in the bathroom corner. Get that next time." "Next time?" "Every Saturday. For 200 hours. We're on hour 3. 197 to go." Vivienne sits down on the couch. She wants to cry, but she doesn't. She just sits there, tired, humble, learning. Rosa sits down next to her. "You want some water?" "Please." Rosa gets her a glass. Vivienne drinks it. It's the best water she's ever tasted. Strange how something so simple can feel so good when you've earned it. "Can I ask you something?" Vivienne says. "Sure." "How do you do this?" "Every day. Working this hard for so little." Rosa is quiet for a moment. "Because my children need me to. Because I don't have a choice. Because it's the right thing to do." Same reasons you're doing this now. Because you have to. Because it matters. Because there's no other way. Vivienne nods. She's starting to understand. Just starting. 6 months pass. Vivienne completes her community service hours. All 500. She writes her apology. It's published. People read it. Some believe her. Some don't. She attends victim impact panels. Hears stories that break her heart. Sits in rooms with people who lost everything because someone drove recklessly. Someone like her. She changes. Slowly. Not overnight. Not dramatically. But truly. She starts seeing people. Really seeing them. The barista at Starbucks. The grocery store clerk. The janitor. The delivery driver. People she would have looked through before. Now she looks at them. Acknowledges them. Thanks them. She tells her husband they need to pay their household staff more. A lot more. He agrees. They do. She starts a foundation. Not a vanity project. A real foundation. For victims of traffic accidents. To help them with medical bills. Car repairs. Lost wages. She puts real money into it. But more than that, she puts herself into it. Her time. Her energy. her story. She speaks at schools, tells teenagers about what happened, about how she thought she was above consequences, about how wrong she was, about how one stupid decision can change everything. The kids listen. Some of them hear her. Maybe it saves a life. Maybe two. Maybe more. 1 year after her sentencing, Vivienne returns to Judge Caprio's courtroom for her final review hearing to close the case. The courtroom isn't as packed this time, just a few reporters, some court staff. Rosa is there, Sergeant Torres, a handful of others who followed the story. Case number 2025 TR 94762. Final review hearing. Mrs. Ashford Kane, please approach. She does. She's wearing the same simple black dress from a year ago. She looks different now. Her face has changed. Less makeup, more lines, but softer somehow, more human. Mrs. Ashford Kane, you've completed all your requirements. 500 hours of community service, written apology, victim impact panels, financial restitution. Everything. How was it? The hardest thing I've ever done, Your Honor, and the most important. What did you learn? She takes a deep breath. I learned that I'm not special. That money doesn't make me better than anyone else. That real work is hard. That dignity comes from how you treat people, not how much you have. That everyone matters. Everyone. And that justice isn't about punishment. It's about making things right. Or trying to. I don't know if I'll ever fully make this right, but I'm trying. Every day, I'm trying. Judge Caprio nods. Mrs. Martinez, do you have anything to say? Rosa stands. Your Honor, Vivienne has worked hard this year. Really hard. She's been respectful. Humble. She shows up on time. She does the work. She doesn't complain. My house has never been cleaner. A few people laugh. But more than that, she's become someone I can talk to. Someone who listens. Someone who cares. I think she's changed. I hope she stays changed. Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Judge Caprio looks at Vivienne. Mrs. Ashford Kane, I'm closing this case. Your probation is terminated. Your driver's license can be reinstated after you complete your safety course. Your record will reflect your conviction, but also your completion of sentence. You're free to go. But I want to leave you with something. This isn't over. Transformation isn't a destination. It's a journey. You have to choose every day to be better, to see people, to value people, to treat people with dignity. Can you do that? I'm going to try, Your Honor, every single day. That's all I can ask. Good luck, Mrs. Ashford Kane. I hope I never see you in this courtroom again. You won't, Your Honor, I promise. He bangs his gavel. Case closed. Vivienne and Rosa walk out together. Outside, they stop. Look at each other. Thank you, Vivienne says, for giving me a chance, for teaching me, for forgiving me. Thank you for learning, Rosa says. Not everyone does. They hug. It's brief. Awkward, but real. Vivienne gets in her car. Well, her husband's car. She's not driving yet. Her driver takes her home. She looks out the window at the city. At the people. She sees them now. All of them. And she understands something that money never taught her. Everyone matters. Everyone. Meanwhile, Judge Caprio sits in his chambers. He reviews the file one last time, makes a note in the margin. Justice served. Lesson learned. Hope maintained. He closes the file. Puts it away. There are other cases waiting. Other people who need justice. Other chances to make a difference. He stands up. Puts on his robe. Walks back to the courtroom. Because that's what he does. Every day, without fail. Fighting for fairness. For equality. For the principle that no one, absolutely no one, is above the law. And somewhere in Providence, a woman who used to be a billionaire's wife is learning to drive again. Taking a course with teenagers. Sitting in a classroom. Raising her hand to ask questions. Humble. Changed. Better. Because justice doesn't just punish. It transforms. It teaches. It redeems. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it gives everyone a chance. Even the wealthy. Even the privileged. Even the people who thought they were above it all. Because in the end, we're all equal. Under the law. Under the sky. Under the weight of our choices and consequences. And that's how it should be. That's justice.